I live in Seattle. Where do you live?
I'm in Chicago.
Chicago. Okay, so you get more sun than we do. In
A
the
little bit.
wintertime here, yeah, here in the winter in Seattle, where I live, if you look outside, as right now, it's all clouds. It's
Yep.
gray, and some people get depressed. For some reason, I don't, but some do.
Sure.
And and when the sun comes out, suddenly they feel okay. They feel
Huh.
good. So
Yep.
why do they feel good? Well, one possible reason why they feel good uh, could be psychological.
Hmm.
Being in the dark and suddenly there's light.
Yep.
And I don't mean to suggest that explanation is incorrect, but there could be another explanation, and that is the sun's energy, 50% approximately, is infrared energy.
Hmm.
So when the sun comes out, your body is exposed to infrared energy, and
Right.
that hits your entire body. It can even go through clothing. Some wavelengths go through the clothing, and
Interesting.
yeah, it reaches your body. So your body
Huh.
gets sunshine, it gets infrared energy, it builds EZ, and you feel good. It could happen
Yeah.
to your head as opposed to any part of your body. So
Sure.
okay. So that brings me to number four, and number four is getting a heavy dose of infrared, and that's from a sauna.
Mm.
And probably you have an infrared one sitting in one of your rooms, but uh, you know, I've I've enjoyed the traditional kind both in Finland and in Russia,
Yep.
and let me tell you how powerful. But the point is that it's heat. It doesn't matter
Right.
whether it's a moist sauna or one that's dry. It doesn't matter. You're getting infrared energy, and for the same
Mm.
reason that I was suggesting that sun's infrared energy makes you feel better.
Yep.
This is in spades.
Yeah.
You're getting it. So I remember uh, one experience. It was after a symposium in Finland.
Hmm.
I was jet lagged. I was tired. I'd just given my talk, and they bussed us all from the hotel to some party place where they offered a nice dinner for a few hundred people
Hmm.
who were attending. And boy, was I dead. I finished my meal. All I wanted to, it was like 10 o'clock. I was tired. All I wanted to do was get back to the hotel and go to sleep.
Yep.
So someone finally got up the microphone and made an announcement. And I was absolutely sure that this guy was saying, okay, the buses are loading. Everybody go back to their hotels, get some sleep. But that wasn't true. He said, okay, it's 10 o'clock now. The sauna, as they pronounce it correctly, the sauna is opening. And you got three choices. You got the moist one, you got the dry one, and then there was another. I can't remember exactly. And so I figured, okay, I'll try it. So I went in, and 20, 30 minutes later, I'm out. And I got to tell you, I felt like I'd had 8 hours sleep. It was the morning. My
Wow.
head was awake, alive. I could have given another symposium, another
Wow.
talk. Didn't
And this was
matter.
just 20 minutes in the sauna?
That's all. It was enough.
Wow.
Well, have you done it?
Incredible. I've been in a sauna before. It's been a while. And just hearing that makes me want to get back into one.
Oh, it's really really great.
Is it because they have high levels of infrared light? What is
Yeah.
it with the sauna?
Well,
That's
it's
it?
the heat. See, the heat is essentially equivalent to infrared energy, or I
Got
should
it. So it
really say,
matches.
yeah, I should really say that infrared energy, which is more fundamental,
Hmm.
is usually taken as equivalent to heat. It's not exactly, but it's close enough.
Got it.
In the book that we haven't mentioned, it's the fourth phase of water. I have a chapter on that. The idea of temperature actually can mislead,
Sure.
but they're similar. So you get a lot of it in the sauna, or
Got it.
in Russia in the so-called banya,
Mm.
which the Russians enjoy as much as the Finns, I think.
Sure.
So that's now there's a sixth one, and let me finish with that, and then you got a lot more questions.
Yes.
I know. I'm sorry.
I no, you're okay.
Yeah, well, okay, and that is earthing, or as we say,
Okay.
grounding. In Chicago, you ground something, you don't earth it, but the rest
Right.
of the world they earth it.
Uh-huh.
So what does that do? Well, first of all, it's well known that if you connect yourself to the earth, you feel better. And there's a lot of biophysics on it right now. It's commercialized. Some companies are selling gadgets where you can electrically connect yourself to the earth, and you can actually connect your non-conducting leather soles to the earth by putting a metal plug in that also you can buy. So at any rate, a lot of people are doing it, and a lot of people are enjoying health benefits from it. And why is that? Well, if you look on the internet and read, you'll find myriad explanations, and a lot of them are speculative. So let me add my own.
Please.
I think, it's simple, and it follows along the same route of building easy water. So we know that, well, first of all, if you connect yourself to the earth electrically, you can do that in many ways. You can walk barefoot on the beach near the water where it's conducting somewhat, or immerse yourself in the salt water, or in a mud bath, or hug a tree. Some people do that.
Sure.
There are many ways to. And as a kid, I was once buried in the sand up to my neck. I was, I think, 8, 9 years old, or 10 years old, and it was fun. My friends did it, and it was time to go home, and I didn't want to go home because it felt so good, just like walking barefoot on the beach.
Yep.
It really felt. I could remember the distinct feeling. I don't remember so much from that era, but I remember that. Of course, I never thought of it. But what does that do? So if you connect yourself to the earth, you're connecting yourself to basically an almost infinite supply of negative charge. Now, a lot of people don't know that the earth is negatively charged. And I didn't know that the earth was negatively charged. I began my career studying as an undergraduate electrical engineering. No professor ever told me that when you take the plug and plug it into the receptacle, that third prong is being connected to a vast sea of negativity. It was always zero, ground, nothing. And it was a Russian colleague who was working in my lab for 6 months, a creative guy, who said to me on his way out, or about to go to the airport to take his plane back to Moscow after 6 months, he started talking about the Earth's electric field. So I said, Andre, you're crazy. You mean magnetic field, right? And maybe Andre was a little crazy, very creative guy, just a little, and some brilliance. So Andre said, no, it's electric field. Don't you know about the Earth's electric field? No, tell me. He said, well, the ionosphere up there is positively charged and the Earth is negatively charged. So in between those two, running vertically at right angles to the surface of the Earth, you have an electric field. The lines are running in this direction. It's 100 volts per meter at the surface of the Earth, which is like if I were standing, the potential difference between my nose and my toes would be 200 volts. So I went home after he left, and I'm shaking my head. This couldn't be. I mean, how could it be that 4 years studying electrical engineering and then graduate school, and it's impossible. And the next morning, one of my students convinced me. So he brought me the lectures of the great Richard Feynman, the Nobel physicist, who was many considered to be the hero, the most prominent physicist, the Einstein of the second half of the 20th century, a hero of many. And he gave lectures at Caltech, and somebody put them into print. And the student brought me Volume 2, Chapter 9, and there was a whole chapter citing the evidence for the Earth's negativity.
Wow.
So it means when you connect yourself to the Earth, you're not connecting yourself to zero. You're connecting yourself to a vast sea of negativity. So it means that inside your body, if some cells are not so negative, by connecting yourself electrically, the electrons will run into your body. And we know from our experiments in the lab that if you add electrons to water, the H2O gets converted into the fourth phase water, the structured water that we discovered.
Sure.
So So I think bottom line is the reason why you feel good, better, more healthier, uh, and perhaps increased longevity. I don't know, if you connect yourself to the earth, because you're acquiring negative charge, and that negative charge is really important for
Yeah.
creating the structured fourth phase water that fills your cells.